services, I'd like to welcome you all here today, all the friends and family, as we acknowledge these advancements. Please stand with me as the Louisville Metro EMS Honor Guard presents the colors.
Detail. Hold. Right. Face. Post. Colors. Present. Arm. Order. Arm. Left. Face. Forward. March.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. It is now my honor to introduce Mayor Craig Greenberg, who was sworn in as Louisville's 51st mayor on January 2nd, 2023. Mayor Greenberg is a proud Louisvillian, father, entrepreneur, and community leader who believes in thinking big, working hard, and making things happen. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Greenberg.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be with you all here today. It's an honor to serve alongside all of you and all of the first responders. The leadership, Executive Director Jody Myman, Colonel Jesse Yarborough, Major Chris Lucketts, and the rest of everyone on the emergency service staff. It is truly an honor to be your colleague in Metro Government. And while this promotion ceremony has been on the calendar for many weeks or months, it is more fitting than ever that we are joining here today at the end of this tragic week here in Louisville to promote you all to your new positions and to thank you and all your colleagues for your amazing, heroic, and important work, not just this week in the face of the mass shooting that we all suffered on Monday, but every week here in Louisville. We'll be honoring each promotion individually in a minute, but I would like to say just a few things to you all as a group. First and foremost, thank you. Thank you for your dedication to serving our city. You all consistently go above and beyond the call of duty. Each of you could have chosen just about any career, but you chose a career dedicated to caring for others, caring for people in need, caring for people in urgent times of crisis. Like what we saw on Monday with the mass murder at Old National Bank, when your teams ran into the unknown, into the danger, because that's what you all do. You help people. You save lives at your own risk. Thanks to Lieutenant Colonel Fuquay for responding to this tragedy. And thank you to Major Dozier for taking over a channel so a supervisor could respond. You all and all of your colleagues are so important to the city. Your work is essential, and we appreciate everything that you do for our neighbors. A lot of people spend their days wondering if they're making a difference. What we saw on Monday and we see every day, that you all are truly making a difference. You know the difference that you make when you see the look of relief on a mother's face when you show up at the door to help a child. You know the difference you've made when you're able to tell a child that their mom or dad is going to be okay. And there are some moments that you're not able to bring good news. But it's apparent that you're still making a difference. Each of you are here today because you continuously do more than just what has to be done. You do what needs to be done. You all respond with tremendous speed and professionalism. And because of that quick response, along with the quick response of our Metro Safe 911 call takers and dispatchers and other emergency responders, including LMPD, you all save lives every day. You've earned your titles that you currently have, and you've earned the promotions that you're getting right now. You've earned them by taking on the challenges of the work, and this work is physically, mentally, and emotionally challenging. We know that, we respect that. You meet those challenges every day and keep coming back for more because you know the impact that you and your teams at Metro EMS make for us in Louisville. It brings me tremendous peace of mind knowing that people of your caliber are working for all of us in Louisville. I also want to thank the family and friends that are here with us today to celebrate those of you who are being honored. Thank you for supporting your family members and your friends in their service to our community. And please continue to support them as you all continue your career. And a final thanks to everyone on our incredible team at Metro Emergency Services. On behalf of the people of Louisville and the entire Metro government, congratulations and thank you.
Mr. Mayor. Chief Yarborough would now like to provide some remarks. Please welcome Chief Jesse Yarborough.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Fisher, thank you, Mayor James, everyone for being here. In 1940, Winston Churchill said, "Never was so much owed by so many to so few." That was in reference to the Royal Air Force who was fighting in the Battle of Britain. This reminds me today of the EMS personnel who've never wavered in the performance of their duties during some of the most difficult times that any of us can remember. These personnel served on the front lines of COVID when so much was still unknown, volunteering for additional duties and risking their own health. Some of them volunteered to leave their families and move into the EMS or Metro City buildings for several days during the protests of 2020 in order to be of service to the community. They volunteered for deployments to serve areas of the Commonwealth struck by natural disasters. These are the employees that are the first to raise their hands when volunteers are needed, before they even know what's going to be asked of them. And just this week, many of the people that you see in this room raced to the side of the Old National Bank, unsure of the situation or what they would find, to serve the community in one of its darkest hours. No matter the situation, these personnel, day after day, year after year, continue to volunteer themselves in service to the community and to the Commonwealth. EMS is a very difficult profession, one that's half public safety, half healthcare provider, half social services, and half therapist. If you're keeping track, that is 4 halves. And yes, that's because I'm not only bad at math, but it's because the job is that demanding as well. The personnel that we're recognizing today have not only taken on these roles, but have excelled in them. They volunteered to be educators and leaders, training the next generation of providers to continue in the tradition of excellence. They volunteered for specialized training to become better providers, to better serve the community. They've taken on supervisory and management roles in order to make the agency more efficient and more agile. To the friends and families of those we are recognizing, thank you. Whether you know it or not, your continued support makes their successes possible. And their success translates to the success of the agency, the success of Metro Government, and most importantly, the successful treatment of the patients whom, if not for the dedication of people like these, might not be here today. To those whom we are here to honor, thank you. And congratulations on your accomplishment. This is a huge milestone in your career, and one in which you should take pride. You're being recognized today for your leadership, your expertise, your continued service, and your dedication. Throughout our careers, most of us have likely uttered the phrase, "If I were the boss." You're now embarking on a journey where you will have that opportunity. Sometimes you'll learn that there are reasons why something had to be done a certain way. Sometimes you'll find that things are done a certain way because we've just always done them that way. And I implore you to challenge that mindset. During the application process for these positions, we get to ask the candidates a lot of difficult questions and to make them think through situations and scenarios in which there might not be a right or wrong answer. We want to see how they think. We want to see how they treat people and how they would react if they were the boss. We want to see how they would lead. You're now entering a role that has more gray areas than black and white ones. You're going to have to make difficult decisions. Oftentimes without the ability to gather all the information and facts that you'd like to have, and frequently at 2 o'clock in the morning. There are lots of ways in which you can make that decision. You can trust your gut. You can think back on a situation that, while maybe it's not exactly the same, is similar. But the one test I always found helpful was this. Faced with a choice, which choice would I feel most comfortable defending to the mayor's office, at a press conference, or in a courtroom? Sometimes there isn't a good choice. Sometimes there's just at least a bad choice. You need to be humble, which I know is rich coming from a guy using a microphone to dispense advice, but hear me out. You don't always have to be right, and a lot of times you won't be. Seeking advice and considering a different viewpoint doesn't make you a worse leader, it makes you a better one. When you're wrong, own it. You feel embarrassed. Good. Learn from it. Grow from it. Just as you will make mistakes, people you supervise will make mistakes. When addressing these mistakes, realize that people will always forget what you say, but they will never forget how you made them feel. When addressing those mistakes, the grace that you showed to your employees will be returned tenfold when you make one. Everyone's heard of the golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated. There's also a rule called the platinum rule, and the platinum rule says, treat others the way they want to be treated. No one understands the difference between treating people equally and treating them equitably. These are some of the things that you'll be entrusted to do now that you're the boss. Beginning of every shift, you should try to do 3 things. Something to make yourself better, something to make the agency better, something to make someone else better. Sometimes they're the same thing. Sometimes they're 3 different things. Taking on these types of roles can be frightening. You're going to second guess yourself. Again, good. Don't run away from that. Embrace it. Second guessing yourself means you care. I believe that each and every one of you do. I believe that you have the best interests of the employees and the citizens we serve at heart. And I believe that you'll be excellent servant leaders now that you're the boss. Again, I'd like to congratulate you on your accomplishments, and I look forward to seeing your continued successes. Thanks.
Chief Yarborough. So today, we acknowledge the advancement of those that have demonstrated that they've risen to the challenge of leading others. So I'm going to call folks up individually. Whoever's pinning you can bring them with you, and we'll go from there. First up, promoted to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel Mark Fuquay. Lieutenant Colonel Fuquay began his career with Louisville Metro EMS in March of 2005. He has long served as a union steward and chief steward for the Teamsters Local 783. He was promoted to sergeant in 2018 and captain in 2019. During that time, Lieutenant Colonel Fuquay has served in operations, quality assurance. He's taught several EMT academies and has been a member of the bike team. Lieutenant Colonel Fuquay is married to his wife Valerie for 16 years, and together they have 3 children, Candace, Paige, and Hunter. He was pinned today by his wife Valerie. The next promotions will be to the rank of Major. First, we have Major Dallas Chesser. Major Chesser began his EMS career in September of 2014 at Louisville Metro EMS. He quickly became an FTO and completed the Louisville Metro EMS paramedic program. Major Chesser was promoted to sergeant in 2018 and lieutenant in 2022. He holds multiple instructor certifications and is a paramedic educator and evaluator. Major Chesser is being pinned today by his wife, Brittany. Major Harry Dozer III. Major Dozer began his career as an EMT in 2002 in Salt Lake City after moving away from his hometown in Stevensville, Montana. He quickly advanced and became an EMT intermediate and then proceeded to work in Salt Lake City at Gold Cross Ambulance for the next 8.5 years before moving to Louisville to be closer to his sister. He began his career as an EMT with Louisville Metro in June of 2009 and then completed the paramedic program in 2013. He served as an FTO, sergeant, lieutenant, and educator, as well as a member of the bike team and the LMPD dive team. Major Dozer is pinned today by his wife, Amanda. Our next promotion is to the rank of captain, Captain Joshua Ford. Captain Ford began his career at Louisville Metro EMS as an EMT recruit in 2006. Since that time, he's become an EMT FTO and was promoted to sergeant. In 2019, Captain Ford completed his advanced EMT certification. He's married to his wife, Amber, for 14 years, who's pinning him today. All the newly promoted folks back to the stage so the mayor can administer the oath of office.
On this day that we begin to lay to rest some of the victims of Monday's horrific shooting, it is with enormous gratitude that I administer the oath of office in thanks for what you and your colleagues have done, not just on Monday, but on every day throughout the years and in the years to come. Thank you all so very much. If you all please raise your right hand, and we'll first have, after I have each one of you be in sequential order, state your name, and then I'll read the oath, and then you say, I will at the end. I state your name.
Joshua Ford. Harry Dozier. Dallas Chester.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and statutes of this Commonwealth, and acts of the General Assembly of Kentucky relating to cities of the first class and cities of all classes, and ordinances of Louisville Metro, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability and discharge the duties of my new office according to law and ordinances. And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within the state, nor out of it, nor have I acted as second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending. And I do further solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law and that I am not subject to any disabilities which render me ineligible to hold the office to which I have been appointed. So help me God. If you agree with that, please state, I will.
I will.
Congratulations.
Thank you for coming out today and being with us as we acknowledge all these advancements. That concludes our ceremony. Have a great day.
If you do nothing else,
If you do nothing else.
Do nothing else.
If you do nothing else,
If you do nothing else.
If you do nothing else.
If you do nothing else.
Stay live.